reminder of Chris and Dianne.
I just felt such joy in my heart watching you dance. Just beautiful you, inspiring us all on the dance floor. I love it.
There were a little bit of a flow missing, but the lift coming out of that blackout moment was absolutely spectacular.
You have no fear and you give us 100% of what you're capable of. And in my book, that's a winner.
It's Chris and Dianne. Chris, your couple's choice wasn't solely about you. It was about representation and sending out a positive message, which made it just so joyous to watch for all of us on Saturday night. But without the rules of ballroom and Latin, I need to ask, how much more enjoyable was that routine for you than the rest?
Yeah, I mean, it was enjoyable after the previous 2 weeks because, you know, there's no, no hiding the fact that the samba was difficult, and then the tango, you're not allowed to smile in, which I mentioned, and so to be able to just kind of let go and be a lot freer.
Yeah.
But we still worked on posture, didn't we? It was all shapes. She didn't let me off. She was like, it's all about shapes, Chris. But yeah, it was really freeing, and it was lovely to be able to smile and just bring a bit of joy back into it, you know?
Yeah, it certainly looked that way. And Chris, your first time closing the show as well. Presumably you didn't mind waiting to the end with this dance, though.
So much better than opening.
Yeah. Why is that?
And not as bad as, so when we first started this, I was like 13th out of 15. And when you've never done it before, that weight is unbearable.
Yeah.
But what were we down to, like 8 or 9 or something like that? So, I mean, that's like old school halfway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was amazing. And you did well containing the nerves and the pressure to get all the way to the end of the show. But Dianne, we know that your dad, Mark, likes to send you messages of encouragement. This is what he sent you last week.
Hi, Chris and Dot. They tell me this week's concert you have the couple's choice. To be honest, I've got no idea what that is.
What was his reaction to your dance? And does he finally know what a couple's choice is?
I don't know if he still knows what a couple's choice is, to be honest, Janette, but he absolutely loved it. I mean, my dad loves every single week. He calls me every Sunday. He goes, oh, Dot, I don't know how Chris does it. I just don't know how he does it. And he's just blown away every week. But especially this week, he said it was his absolute favourite one, Chris. So it was up there with number one.
And he doesn't know what a couple's choice is, though. Is this the first year he's paid any attention?
Yeah, I mean, that's my dad for you.
Yeah, but he's being so
loved
supportive.
it.
It's so beautiful to see him supporting you
Yes.
from all the way over there. But Di, Craig said the routine belonged in a Western musical. It should be that incredible. What was it about Lizzie and Alberto's choreography that really worked for you?
I think, we all worked together and we just wanted this to be something that Chris was comfortable with and that he could shine in,
Yeah.
It really did showcase Chris in his finest moments, I think. And it was challenging. We always say every week is such a challenge for us. In terms of angles and things like that, like we have no ability, well, Chris has no ability to know where he is on the floor. Yeah. And that takes us, I think, the longest out of everything, doesn't it?
Just figuring out where you are in
this
the room.
was difficult in terms of where we were placed in the room and trying to figure out where each bit went. Yeah. Craig mentions, the transitions between things can be smoother. This is where we struggle sometimes, is because Chris can't see the transitional point that he's got to get to. So that can be a little bit more difficult for us. Yeah. But
and then
we're
add
working
the
on
props and the chairs and the table and everything else that you did. Chris, given that it was a couple's choice, what were you certain that you really wanted to include in this dance?
Well, as you said, I mean, first of all, it was to be positive and be joyous, And I said in the VT that I'm kind of very privileged to have the opportunity to represent a group of people on the biggest show on the telly, and having a disability isn't a sob story. You know what I mean? And it's about celebrating people's abilities, and a lot of people out there can have low expectations of what is possible. And so it was really about putting that across and it being a joyful experience. And the thing with the darkness was really, it wasn't about putting Dianne into the dark, it was about putting the audience and the viewers into the dark and surprising them with what is possible coming out of the darkness, And I'm really happy with how it was received because it really seemed to connect and touch people, you know. So.
Yeah. And you
yeah.
came out of that darkness with such a beautiful lift. It was amazing. It was, for me personally, such a moment in that routine when the lights went out.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Blackpool because you are through and you're dancing in American Smooth to this.
Might as well jump.
Hey, there it is. It's a mellow Paul Anka version of Van Halen's Jump. That's pretty amazing.
I love it.
I know. And Di,
it.
you have danced the foxtrot and you've danced the waltz in the show. So which one are you going to lean for in the American Smooth?
We're going Foxtrot American Smooth. So, yeah, we're really enjoying this. And, you know, Chris loves his ballroom. And, yeah, we're working again on frame and posture and really getting the beautiful glides and footwork. And I was watching the video back today and I was screaming, wasn't I, Chris? I'm just so proud of him. I
My
really
frame's
was.
good, isn't it? My frame's
Frame is
improved.
good.
Better.
But
It's
Chris,
getting better.
I said it's better. I said it's good, and you went, it's better.
Brilliant.
she really brought you back, Chris. She really brought you back.
She reined me in. Don't get carried away with yourself. Big shot.
Chris, you've got more to think about this week because you've also got the extra dancers that are involved in the routine. So how has that changed your relationship with the space and the dance floor?
Do you know what? Like, I don't think I'm going to notice them, really. I mean, I think, because I can barely notice Dianne unless we're in contact because the noise of the music, the band, the crowd. So, I mean, we trained with them today and I could hear them, you know, kind of plodding around. I'm sure they were doing better than plodding, but I could hear them around me. But I'm sure in Blackpool, I won't notice them until the moments where there's going to be a moment where we all kind of come together. But I'm sure they will just be doing the business and making us all look great, you know.
Yeah, you've got a good bunch in there. Shout out to
We
Robbie. We
do.
love him.
Oh, we love
but listen,
you.
best of luck to you guys on Saturday.
Thank
You're in Blackpool.
you.
Incredible. For now, it's Chris and Dianne. Okay, let's see how 5 of